Okay, so we've got Luke and Gavin. Luke, you're our software development manager. Gavin, you run the show, and we're going to talk a little bit about AI in our POS software. And we should start this by saying, we've been delivering AI tools within retailer now since what, late 2022?
Yeah, it'd be around
Yeah,
that
Brandon.
time.
Yep.
Yeah. And so we're pretty early to kind of AI for small business retail. And our goal is to deliver tools that help small business retailers be competitive, be efficient, and really using the latest in terms of AI functionality. Luke, you've got an update that's not far away from being ready. Do you want to talk us through a little bit about what you're planning on releasing?
So basically, what we're trying to do is look at areas within the software where we can take away um, the time it takes to process things. So we've looked at things like invoice arrivals, which takes small business retailers a long time to enter these invoices in manually. Look at ways at assisting them in doing pricing, and also ways at doing blog posts for their websites.
Okay. And Gavin, philosophically, from the business perspective, we're seeing a lot of interest in this among retailers who want to be competitive, partly because of what's happening out in the world about AI.
Yeah, definitely. There's a lot of people are asking a lot of questions about how they can use the new AI tools like ChatGPT and Google Gemini in their businesses and actually help them streamline and make their businesses more profitable. So it's good.
So what we're about to show today within our software, this is going to be the next update that comes out. This is going to be available for people who are renting the software and are on the advanced kind of
That's
level of the
correct.
software.
Yep. So
Cool.
if you're on legacy support, you will need to switch to rental to get these changes.
Yeah. Now, part of that's because, developing the AI tools is expensive, but also, using them has got a cost. And so we bring all that together in this particular version. Luke, why don't you get in there and show us what we're talking about here?
No dramas. I'll just share my screen.
And look, try not to be too nerdy about it.
No dramas at all. Rightio. So basically, what I'll do is starting off with is basically the work we've done around AI and the tools that we're doing. We're actually trying to give customers the ability to customize the right provider and the right model for the section of the program that's required. So for things like generative text, like descriptions or blog posts, you'll be able to customize what particular provider and what model, and then you might have another provider for invoice arrival. So that might be Gemini for generative text, ChatGPT for invoice arrivals.
Good. So
Uh,
when you're talking about provider, you're talking about the AI model itself.
Correct,
Correct.
correct. So you will be able to customize that on a per section basis.
Yep.
Um, what we'll do is we'll jump straight away into our blog post side of things. So currently at the moment, for users to create a blog post, they've got to think about the content. So what we've designed is a way that a system is basically so they can create good content for their website, for their blog post, to attract customers to it.
So,
It's
so
just
wait, sorry, when you say create content, you're saying I can take a product and retailer through its AI connection will generate a blog post about that product for me.
yes. Yep. So what we'll do is I'll just go new here. So what we can do is I can scan an item at the top, or I can press enter to find an item. I'll just use, for example, our Yates pest gun oil. And what we can do is we can generate a blog post. Now, in there, you can actually customize the prompt that we send to the model.
Mhm.
So what that'll do is that'll go and generate a blog post and a title, which then we can edit, and then we can just, as a single click, just upload that to your blog accordingly.
Okay, so you've got a prompt in there. You're giving that to me with Australian spelling.
Yeah, I don't know if we've got that in the update
You,
here at
if
the
you wanted to,
moment.
you could,
Yeah,
have
you
spelling.
can customize what's in the prompt that we send out to ChatGPT.
And so it comes up with this text. If I like that text and I'm ready to go, what do I do?
So basically, what you can do is you can still go and load an image against that product if you want, against that blog post as well. If you're happy with that, all you need to do is go upload blog
But
post.
that'll pull in the image from the stock item as well, won't it, Luke?
Yeah, it'll use the default image, but
Yep.
in some cases where you may want a separate image, you will be able to load that
Yep.
accordingly as well.
And just to be clear, if I want to put in some of my own wording into that blog post, I can edit it in this screen
You can
right now.
edit. You just go in there and you just start typing in. This is great. Yep, you just type in whatever you want in there. Once you go save, you can leave it and come back later on and add to it. We do have a date that it's published as well, so that pushes up to
So that
your.
means you can queue up posts like into the week. So you can sit down like a Sunday afternoon and queue up a week's worth of blog posts to go.
So Luke, let's imagine I'm technophobic and I'm looking at this and saying, how the hell do I do that? I don't know how to connect my blog to this. How is this really easy for me or is it hard?
No, it is really, really simple. There's some settings on our website that'll actually allow you to connect it into your existing blog post. So that way, it's basically as streamlined as just going upload the blog, and then it'll push it through to your blog there.
And what blogs are we supporting in this, Luke?
It's just the general blog, so you'll be able to define that on the
So
website.
that's with Shopify and WooCommerce
Shopify, Woo, yep,
and BigCommerce.
and Big, yes.
Yep.
And so you're saying from this screen, I can edit what the AI has generated for me. I can then from here hit a button and it automatically goes onto my blog.
Yes.
And so as I'm bringing in new product into retailer, it's easy for me to queue up posts to launch those new products on the blog itself.
Correct. Yeah.
That's
So
amazing.
using the details of your internal stock items to generate this content.
Yep.
So
Excellent.
it could be possible, Mark, from all of the work that's been done. You could get all of the stock data from barcode lookup. You could generate a ChatGPT description for it, and then generate a ChatGPT or Google Gemini blog post for that item. So you could basically create the entire item, and the only thing you've needed to type in is the price, and you've created it. You've got it to the website. The image is loaded, and everything's all done for you. And all the only thing you've typed is a price.
That's amazing.
Hmm.
Okay, that's exciting. What's next?
So the next thing we'll have a look at is we've actually done some work around pricing of stock items. So within the stock screen or invoice arrivals with stock items, what you'll be able to do is you will be able to play with this AI pricing. Now, with AI pricing, what it can actually do is it will turn around and use the psychology and your location to project what prices you should use. And it's something that you can adopt to use immediately. So you might go, yeah, I want to go with this standard price. And that'll actually apply those pricings within the software
Sorry,
immediately.
can you go back a screen to show the three pricing options there?
Yep.
So you're saying to me, retailer has gone out using the AI tool, and in a moment you're going to explain how it's done this, but it's come back with three pricing options. I've got standard, promo, and premium.
Yep. So what this does is this takes your suburb or your geographical location and pricing strategies based on the psychology of that area to provide a recommendation for retail prices for the
Is it
business
looking
owner.
at what others around me are charging?
It is looking at that, yes.
Okay. And so this AI tool here is really considering a whole bunch of factors kind of local to my business, and it's giving me three price options, and I can choose one of those, and that will take effect straight away.
And that'll be immediate, yep. So then ask for web prices and your cost prices if you want to update those, and it'll set that price immediately within the software.
Now, uh, you know, why would I want to do that?
So it's good. It's good to see if you're competitive
Mhm.
in the area, like in the location that you're in,
Yep.
because one shoe doesn't fit all. So that way you're sort of getting a bit of a guide on what pricing you should charge. Because sometimes you'll get items through and you go, "Oh, I don't know how much are people going to spend for this." So if you've got a bit of a tool that can assist with that, I think it is a real assistance.
And with it's taking into account pricing psychology as well. So if you're selling something for $8.99, in the customer's head, that's already $10 anyway. So you might as well charge $10. So that's taking into account those things as well and just giving you a different feel for how much you could possibly make on a particular stock item. So
And also, doesn't it come into play that sometimes there are retailers who just do the same thing every time?
mhm,
They just do the same markup. So what we're saying here is, here's additional information, and you could take this into account as you consider your pricing.
absolutely.
Yeah. And look, at the end of the day, you still have the overarching control. So you can look at it and go, yeah, I'm not happy with any of those three prices, and you can set your own still. This is purely just providing a recommendation.
Or you might want to decide you want to go in the middle.
Yeah, well, that's exactly right.
Yep. Okay. That's fascinating. It'll be interesting to see kind of how that plays out for people and whether people are driving sales as a result of kind of being more competitive in that pricing space.
Hmm.
Hmm.
What else have you got, Lou?
Okay, and the last one, which is very exciting as well, is our new AI importer, our new AI assisted invoice arrivals.
So just let's pause for a second. For us, when we talk about invoice arrivals, this is the process of taking, we open a box, we've got an invoice there, we want to bring those goods into retailer. So we call that invoice arrivals.
Yep. So anything that you get in from your supplier, and you want to input those items into your inventory. So as much as we push suppliers to do things with electronic invoices, a lot of them are still small. They send invoices via PDF or Excel and things like that. So this new AI assisted import utility basically gives us the ability to suck these invoices in. As a PDF or an Excel file. So you can drag your invoices in. I've just got a supplier invoice here. When we go to analyze, what that'll do is it'll go through, it'll use the AI tools to analyze the data in that invoice and put it into a structured format on my right-hand side. So it's going to go through, it's going to match up supplier stock codes, barcodes. It'll even give us the option to add new suppliers in. And then we can actually review that invoice.
And so you're saying it's able to do this, even if it's an invoice that hasn't come to me in a traditional electronic data form. These are going to be just PDF invoices that you're able to bring in and analyze and do this work with.
Yes, correct. So as you can see, this has brought this invoice through. This is a new supplier that I've never actually imported before. So it's actually identifying all of those items as brand new products.
So that's what that red highlight means, Luke?
Yes. So you will be able to, these are automatically specified the department. It's used my markup values if I've got set markups and things like that. Basically, I can go through and individually put items in. We've got a few quick add options as well to add all the stock items into your software. So that way you're not having to go through the stock wizard and add each individual item individually.
And that's all. That's also pulled the freight out, Luke, as well, from that
Yeah,
line
pull the
item
freight out.
and put
Yep.
it at the top. Wow.
And as you can see, we've got our invoices. So without taxes, 486. 486 is what our totals are. So basically, if I want to receive that, I can just go save to invoice arrivals. And when I go to OK, that goes through, it arrives the invoice, and all of those items have gone into our stock item, into our system, increase the quantity on hand, and it's actually also queued up the barcodes as well.
So this is using AI technology that you've embedded in the software to enable it to analyze a whole bunch of different types of invoices our various customers might get.
Yes.
Yep.
I guess you've tested it pretty extensively.
Yes, it's been going through a lot. So we have got a lot of invoices from different suppliers, from different customers for us to trial this out on. So this has gone through quite a few from different suppliers. Look, it's not always going to get it right. So if it doesn't get it right, we do have the ability to do the alterations within the grid immediately.
Right. Okay.
So as you can see, I've just brought this one through. It's identified the first two items. The last one is an item that we haven't had before. It's tried to bring in the supplier code as a barcode. Um, but what we can actually do is we can actually generate a barcode for it, or I can even press enter and link it to an item within my stock file if I had it there. So we do have ways of you managing that side of things.
Right.
Um,
This is a huge time saver for a lot of retailers, I think, a massive time saver.
yeah, yeah, definitely. So yeah, as you can see, you can alter those directly in the grid, make your changes when you're happy with it. Just go save arrival, instant arrival, and that's then just arrive that into your software.
And Gavin, you've been playing with this as well?
Yeah, that's uh, uh, all the times when you've been on site and you've been manually arriving an invoice, and some of those invoices can be, a couple of pages long. It's going to save hours and
Yeah.
hours and hours of work. It's amazing. The,
I
the
mean,
first the first time I tried it, I was blown away.
well, because if we go back a couple of decades, you have at your kind of very roots, you have retail experience.
Hmm.
So if you put your retail hat on for a moment, you think about the time that it's going to save a shop, isn't
Oh,
it?
yeah, absolutely. Sitting down and doing this type of book work, while it was important so you had accurate stock levels, and accurate pricing and accurate GP and all that, it's be able to do this is just it's an absolute game changer.
It's also, if you're doing it manually, it's error prone. What Luke has just done here is imported Eastern Distributors
Yep,
invoice. It's got accurate descriptions there of each product. It's putting
yep.
it in the right department within the business. You've got the correct barcode. You've got the supplier stock code. You've got accurate cost pricing. So the opportunities for errors from that manual process, the opportunity for errors is greatly reduced by doing it in this automated
Oh,
way.
absolutely. If you accidentally type a cost price wrong and aren't checking your retails, you could be selling below very
Yeah,
easily. Here, you're not going to have that problem. As long as you're matching your totals and getting your totals right, it's just going to import greatly.
yeah.
And what have you got there? Like that's about what, 12, 15 items on that?
13 items, yeah, 13
13 items.
items
So
is
that
it.
would
13
take
items.
to arrive manually probably 15 minutes.
Yep.
Um,
But this also, all those items were all red to begin with. So the fact is, I've just added all of those. Well, I think it's about 12 items we added in, and I could arrive at within 5 minutes.
Mm.
So the fact that that's done in one foul swoop, it's is definitely going to save time within the business.
and you
Okay.
can use any type of file as well. So if you've got PDFs or even if it's an Excel spreadsheet, it'll analyze any of those.
Right. Um,
Just one other thing as well with that, if it's a new supplier, it will go through and add the supplier in as well. I
yep.
think this is my new supplier as well. So it matches the supplier immediately. If the supplier's not there, we try to pull all the details off the invoice. So you've got that information in your software immediately.
hmm hmm Um,
Not going to be a new one.
okay. What?
Yeah,
So it's adding some of those items there.
yeah, so there's some new ones in the list here that haven't been
Okay.
that haven't been received before, but the other ones that it's actually matched up. It's just found those, and he's going to link them to the existing stock items within the software.
So outside of those three things, is there anything else AI capable or AI facility wise in this next update?
And not within this update.
Okay.
So we're already looking at ways internally within retailer how we can leverage of AI to assist retailers and give them additional tools to make their everyday lives easier.
Yep.
Um, but yeah, it's just those three core components that we've had that we're adding to our existing AI technologies that we already
Okay.
have.
If you stop sharing your screen, then so philosophically, in terms of our plans for further AI capability enhancement within the POS software, what would you both say are kind of our plans for the rest of 2025? Without being specific, what are we planning?
We're planning on every update to have some AI functionality included in it in some shape or form. So What those will be, you'll have to find out. But yeah, we've got some
But
plans.
Gavin, it's fair to say that's about helping small business retailers improve productivity,
Yep.
Yep.
make better quality business decisions, and
Hmm.
make those decisions faster.
Correct.
Correct.
We see AI as 2025 is going to be very much a year of AI economically, globally, but very much in business. We want to make sure that our small business retail customers are as equipped as they can be in terms of AI tools. And Luke, you've got your entire dev team kind of focused on this from within the Tower product ecosystem.
Correct.
You don't want to add anything to that? You don't want to give too much away, I guess.
I've got to, yeah, you got to be, got to keep things exciting, and yes, there's a lot of things that you can do now that you couldn't do 3 or 4 years ago. So,
Or
Well,
even
even a few
six
months
months
ago, I
ago.
mean, it's
well,
moving
yeah,
just so rapidly.
correct. So, it's going to be exciting, and there's going to be a lot of changes that come. So, it's going to shake up the industry, I think.
So, Gavin, to recap, what Lucas just showed us, those three facilities, they're in the next update that's literally a few weeks away from being released. And that's available to customers using the advanced level of our software.
That's correct. Yeah, so customers that are renting the software on the advanced level or higher will have access to the AI tools.
Excellent.
And if you want to see it in person, will be at the Sydney Gift Fair as well.
Yeah, in a few weeks. That'll be fantastic. All right, guys, thank you.
No dramas.